What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to another mystery gift video. So in this video, I'm going to be briefly just touching on the Volcanion event that happened in October. Now, at the time of recording, I'm pretty sure this event is mostly done throughout the world. I think there's like a few places that still have this event running, but I couldn't get around to doing this event because of all the PC problems I was having. I couldn't even run a webcam, I could barely get my recording program running, so I was like, oh, god damn it. So I'm doing it now. I'm going to be running it in with the Genesec thing. A lot of people weren't really interested in this event from what I could tell because obviously nearly everyone and their dog has Volcanion at this point, as you can tell from my battle spot and all that. So anyways, just to go over what the event was. This was the Volcanion. It came with a Assault Vest, and by the way, this is the Australian event. I know as well that some of the events that happen around the world, a few things differed from each other. I know a few of them had like, I think Smoke Ball or something instead of Assault Vest. A few of them had different items, which was pretty cool actually. But anyways, for the Australian one, this one came at level 70. It had Water Absorb, which is Volcanion's only ability. It came with the Assault Vest, so Assault Vest, from my personal opinion, is probably one of Volcanion's better items. There is a few other items you can run on Volcanion, but Assault Vest just seems to complement Volcanion so bloody well. And its moves are Steam Eruption, which work hand in hand with Assault Vest, Flamethrower, Hydro Pump, and Explosion, which is actually a pretty cool move on Volcanion. Definitely could not see Volcanion running Explosion unless you look at like Steam Explosions and all that. Just maybe? I can kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time it's pretty cool because Explosion is a pretty handy move, especially when you're running in like doubles or something. But anyways, this was a code-based Pokemon, so our usual shenanigans here. We go through Mystery Gift to receive it. You can receive it on Pokemon X and Y as well. Go yes to receive gift via code. Make sure you got the internet, la 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 la. And at the same time, these codes were location based as well. So since I am using an Australian code, it would only work on my Australian game. So right, so let's go through, scratch this code. This is one use code as well. So to repeat, this code will only work once. So don't think you can be a little smartass and try and type this code in because it will not work. So there is my code. So let's swap over to my Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire game, which I have booting up at the moment because I forgot to swap reset onto the menu. So let's get that going, and then I shall type that code in and get myself a Volcanion, which, as I said, I already do have one from the Japanese event. But we'll see what we can get from this particular one and go through the usual mechanics that I usually do with the mystery gift videos, where I go through and say what moves can be quite handy on a particular Pokemon. I will say up front, I'm not quite knowledgeable on Volcanion myself. I've never actually used one. I have seen a lot of people use them, so I can kind of just go from like my personal experience with competitive battling and just try and give some unique sets that could possibly work or just could be quite big fellas. So I'm going to type in the code and we'll just continue on from there. Alright, so if you typed your code in correctly, it should go to the screen. Otherwise, you'll tell you that the code was incorrect. Review your code and type it in again. But if you have your code and you haven't redeemed it by this point, you can still redeem it. I think the cutoff point actually is somewhere 31st of January 2017, mine card says. So you have until then to redeem your code. So if anyone still has codes floating around, remember you can only do it via your region. So if it's a US code, it'll only work on a US DS. If it's a Europe code, I think it will work on the Australian DS as well because Europe is PAL. And all that other fancy jizz. Anyways, we got ourselves a Volcanion. So the mythical Pokemon Volcanion uses fire and water to launch explosive shockwaves and scalding steam. It's capable of gouging a mountain right out of the landscape, which is quite powerful. Alrighty, so thank you for playing Pokemon. Pick up your gift from the delivery girl in any Pokemon Center, and that will just go straight into the game. So I'll meet you guys at the Battle Resort in Omega Ruby, and we'll go through, do some soft resets, talk about the Volcanion sets, and as I said, there is quite a few you can possibly run, but I'm only going to be showing you guys 4 sets that I have personally come up with just before doing this video. And by the time I explained all that, we're actually into the game. Damn it, I dribble on for a little too long sometimes. I swear to God, that's something I need to fix. Anyways, let's talk to the mystery gift girl, and I've made sure to clean out all my mystery gifts beforehand, so we're not having the problem of redeeming a lot and then having a problem of finding which Pokemon we need to do. But anyways, here is Volcanion level 70. What did we get? We got a nice, we got the Brave Nature straight off the bat, which is something that I want to work with. Yep, it's Brave. It does also come with the Classic Ribbon as well, which is what all event Pokemon come with, just to verify that they are the legit Pokemon, which also means they cannot be traded on GTS and Wonder Trade as well. So let's check the IVs on this beast and see what we got. Since I did get the Brave Nature, I'm hoping I did not get Speed. Hopefully I got HP, Attack, and Special Defense, because that's just the one I'm looking at the moment. Has outstanding potential overall. Let's see what we got. HP, Attack, and Special Attack. Oh, frick, it got Speed. I got Brave. Damn it, if that was any other set, I would have taken that. I would have actually gone on the mixed set on that one. Damn it, that's really unlucky. Oh man, 4 IV straight off the bat. As I said, if it wasn't Brave Nature, that would have been absolutely perfect. Although, the one that would have complemented that perfectly would have been Naive Nature. Because I would have then probably gone for my Choice Scarf set. Anyways, let's go back into it and try again. As I said, you do get some funny things when you soft resetting. You can get perfect IVs and then the wrong nature. Unfortunately, there's no other way to really get around your nature problem. You kind of have to roll the dice and hope for the best. Alright, Volcanion, let's check its nature. Nature of... I got a really unique one there. That's one I don't tend to run very often. That's like... I think that's something like Calm? No, Mild. I've used Mild once. And it's only on like a mixed attacker for doubles. I mean, heck, we could run that, but Volcanion has some decent defense. Especially when running with Steam Eruption. I mean, heck, you could probably sacrifice your defense. Oh, that's like a... special attack at 0. Right. Definitely don't want that one. So I'll do one more soft reset. And then we'll have a look at these sets you could quite possibly run. And I'll just briefly go through them. Because usually, as I said, I usually pop them up on the screen for you guys to look at it. You can pause at it from there, take notes down from it, or modify them at your own will to try and utilize it on your own team. As I said, these are only suggestions from myself. There are many ways you can run Volcanion. It's actually one of those very... it's not like an Arceus or anything like that, but it does have multiple ways of being run. It's got the potential of being a bulky sweeper, it's got the potential of being a physical sweeper, it's got the potential of being a physical sweeper as well. Not so much physical, but it can go physical if you know how to run it. So attack, special defense, and speed. That could possibly work. Attack, speed... What did I get for nature? I didn't even look at its nature. Even before I got like modest or something. Oh, look at that. I got quiet. Really? Oh, I just noticed the OT is Helen. That's unique. I'll go through what it's got here as well. I think I've already mentioned it's got water absorb, which is very handy on this thing. Makes it really annoying to hit too. Most of the time it's ground or rock type moves that hit this thing for super effective. You can't hit it with water types. Grass is neutral to it. Electric is super effective as well. I forgot about that while I was making this set. As I said, we've got Steam Eruption. It's got an accuracy of 95, base power of 110. It's like a more powerful Scald. However, it does drop a bit of accuracy for its power. Flamethrower we all know about. Power of 90, accuracy of 100. Does have a chance of burning. Hydro Pump is same base power as Steam Eruption. However, it does have a very low base accuracy. No other extra effects there, and of course Explosion, 250 base power with accuracy of 100, and does cause the user to faint, but does have tremendous amount of power. Very, very handy indeed. I got Attack. Heck, you could probably do that, something like that with Attack. Attack, special attack, because it does have nice base. You could possibly run that, but did I get Speedy? I'm just going to remind myself, because I'm like trying to figure out attack, special defense, and speed, I'm pretty sure I just got. Which can possibly work. Attack, special defense, speed. In all honesty, that could possibly work, but I think... Oh wait, no, it won't work, because I just dropped my speed, didn't I? Oh, bollocks. Here we go. I was like... Blah. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because we dropped speed. Anyways, let's talk about the sets that you could potentially run on Volcanion, because I'm not going to get any better luck than that, unfortunately. Oh god, back to the soft resetting board. But anyways, let's talk about these sets. So first, straight off the bat, let's talk about a special defensive set. So this one is running Calm Nature, so it's going to raise special defense and lowering attack. So usually you'd go for something like HP, special attack, and special defense for your IVs. That we'd be playing it really safe. You can go for special attack, or you could go for defense as well to try and boost up defense as well. But really, this set is relying on your Steam Eruption move. Steam Eruption, of course, having the secondary effect of burning, so that's going to drop the opponent's attack, which means it won't hit your defense as hard. Max HP EVs, max special defense EVs, with the last remaining 4 EVs going into special attack is the way that I would run that Volcanion. Your other 3 moves would be Flamethrower, then you got Sludge Bomb to hit your grass types, your fairy types, and then Earth Power to hit your electric type Pokemon, your rock type Pokemon. And of course, Steam Eruption hits rock and ground type Pokemon as well, plus the chance of burning them as well. So it's pretty nice. I was trying to incorporate Sunny Day into this. Unfortunately though, running Sunny Day, you could run Solar Beam on Volcanion to hit any ground type Pokemon, since majority of ground type Pokemon or rock type Pokemon are of course the dual ground and rock type Pokemon, which Volcanion definitely does fear. So you could go that, but as I said, unfortunately, with the downside of Sunny Day being used, your Steam Eruption base power does drop as well. But other than that, that could be used. I mean, the other thing I was thinking of was a potential optional move if you do want a soft reset for it. You could go Hidden Power Grass. From what I could tell, it isn't really a hard one to go for, but you could go as long as you had like a odd number in HP, an even number in attack, an odd number in defense, an even number in special attack, odd in special defense, and then odd again in speed. You could possibly go for a Hidden Power Grass on Volcanion, which is something that I have suggested in a Trick Room Volcanion. Now, of course, you can substitute this with another move. So it's, as I said, Hidden Power isn't exactly an easy one to soft reset for. It is possible, but it does take quite a lot of soft resets to do, because you're going to go for a Quiet Nature, and then you go for your IVs as well, plus your Hidden Power. There's quite a bit to soft reset for. Most of the time I try and avoid it at all costs, but I put it there in case people were curious about which one to soft reset for. But anyways, I got a Trick Room set. Can also go for a Speedy set with this as well, but if you're going for a Trick Room, make sure to go for low IVs in your speed. I tend to go either between 0 and 5 IVs. Again, 0 can be quite tricky to soft reset for, but again, it is possible. Otherwise, go 1 to 5 IVs tends to work. Base 70 speed in speed definitely makes this an eligible Pokemon for Trick Room. Obviously, you got to look out for Pokemon like Slowbro, which can outspeed it definitely in Trick Room. Won't be able to do too much to Volcanion, but it can be a bit of a problem if it does have something to hit Volcanion with. Again, you got moves like Steam Eruption, Flamethrower, then you got Sludge Bomb and Hidden Power Grass. Can swap that again up for Earth Power, which would hit a lot of electric type Pokemon. So if you do want to run a non-Trick Room variant, you can go for a Modest Nature, or you could go for the fast variant, which I think I've also suggested as well, which you can then go for Timid Nature, max EVs and speed, special attack, and remaining 4 in your health. So Timid, then Racon or Choice Scarf. It reaches something like 365 speed, I do believe, at level 100, which then around level 50, I think it still would allow it to outspeed quite a fair amount of Pokemon, especially in the, I do believe it's in the OU tier for Smogon. You wouldn't be a very nice person if you used it in battle spot singles or doubles. Let me just say that, because I've had a lot of problems taking them out if you've watched my Wi-Fi Wednesday. But anyways, that's the Trick Room variant for a special attacker, which moves us on to the fast attacker. Now, for this one, I've done the mix. This is where I was talking about. You could go for the naive nature. You could possibly go for the mild nature as well on this one if you want to drop your defense. You're not as picky with what stat you drop with your nature. But you go Steam Eruption, Explosion, then you go Flare Blitz and Earthquake. Well, you don't get any stab water type move on the physical set, so that's why I made it in mixed. That way you can drop the opponent's attack with Steam Eruption and then make it somewhat bulky in defense. And unfortunately, since its special defense, I think, is outdone by Volcanion's defense stat. I could be incorrect there. That's why I ended up dropping special defense. But overall, in the end, you could run a negative defense if you was really desperate to run a mixed set. There's multiple other options you can run there. You can go Earth Power over Earthquake or something. But the reason why I've done max attack EVs is because Volcanion's got very nice base special attack anyway, so even without any EVs in special attack, your special moves are still going to do a decent amount of damage, considering that Steam Eruption already has a base 110 base power. So that's still going to hit really hard, since that is also stab as well. And you can also run this very well because Water Absorb, there is quite a lot of water type moves, like Scald is quite common. In VGC, there's a lot of moves like Surf can be used quite often, so that blocks that. Scald is used quite a fair bit as well, so it blocks that as well. Just gotta watch out for a lot of electric type Pokemon because that really slows it down. In singles, Earthquake is quite common as well, so just watch out for that as well, which is why I kind of made Steam Eruption almost paramount on all of Volcanion's sets. And then that goes to the last moveset that I'm going to suggest, which is another Trick Room set. You can also run this with a fast one, but you'll just have to replace Gyro Ball. So I just thought Gyro Ball would be a very interesting move for Volcanion, so I whacked it in there, especially the fact when you do go negative and hindering in speed, does bring it down to 130 speed at level 100. I think that goes to something like 65 speed at level 50, which is quite nice. So Gyro Ball will hit a lot of speedy Pokemon quite fast, especially if they're a fairy type or someone like Gardevoir, that will get hit really hard. Explosion just for the lulls there. And then we've got Flare Blitz just for pure stab, chance to burn as well. And Earthquake to hit those electric type Pokemon, hit those rock type Pokemon as well. And Assault Vest there just to make it a really tanky Pokemon, so that means it can swap into moves a little bit easier, especially if they're special orientated moves. So you don't really need to worry about any recovery moves as well. Just make sure to support it with Pokemon that can possibly pass Wish onto it and all that. And you should do perfectly fine with this Volcanion. As I said, I suggested Trick Room because I see a lot of people trying to run Choice Scarf or Choice Specs, which is something you can run instead of like whatever I suggested for the special set. So Choice Specs is a possible move, Life Orb's a possible move. Assault Vest, I've seen an awful lot. Leftovers does work as well with the Resto Sleep Talk. You can do Rest with Chesto Berry. Unfortunately though, Volcanion really has no decent status moves. I mean, Will-O-Wisp you can run, but what's the point when you got Scald and Steam Eruption, which is like superior. As I said, you can run Sunny Day. It does get access to Haze as well, so you can do Haze, get rid of some stat boost, and all that other decent stuff. Really, the only other move you could possibly use is Rest. You could use Raw if you really wanted to do like a phasing set, but again, you've got Haze instead of Raw, so that's another possibility. And that's just about it. I mean, it's got Toxic, but most of the time you're running Assault Vest, so really that's not going to be a thing. But as I said, these are all sets that you could possibly run. I'm not saying that they're the best, but they're just suggestions for those who have no idea how to run a Volcanion. That's a good way to start. But anyways guys, that's it for tonight's video. I will have the Genesect one up in a couple of hours, so keep an eye out for that if you want suggestions on how to run your Mystery Gift Genesect. Again, that's another Pokemon I haven't got too much familiarity with. And it's the same with December's Pokemon as well, which is Meloetta. Great, like we're ending the year with Pokemon I have no idea how to run because I've never used them. But anyways guys, that's it for now, so until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!